It's so hard to find Christmas gift ideas for that crunchy homemaker. And I know I'm not the only one, but sometimes it just feels like you look online and you click on that stereotypical 25 gifts for her and it brings you to a list of girly items, but it might not be geared towards that crunchy homemaker that you're trying to either buy for or put a list of gift inspiration for yourself in the event that someone asks you, hey, what do you want for Christmas? So today I'm going to give you a list of 25 crunchy homemaker Christmas gift ideas that I'm sure she'll love. And part of the reason why I'm doing this is because my post on crafts that you can make for Christmas gifts was so popular. So I figured, like maybe I'll put together a list of things that you can buy as well. Hi, I'm Katie, and if you like homemaking, crafts, home decor, and faith, then you should hit that subscribe button because I cover all of those on my channel. And make sure that you watch all the way to the end because I do give a freebie away. But without further ado, let's jump in. Okay, so first up on the list is a grain mill, and this is great for those women out there that make a lot of pastries or baked goods like breads and what have you, or even for the ladies out there that have a sensitivity to wheat. And I'm not gonna go into all the details, that's for you to do your own research, but a lot of people tend, myself included, tend to have an easier time digesting wheat when it comes directly from the grain compared to the conventional flour that you'd buy at the store. I have the attachment for the KitchenAid and it's pretty great. I got it because I like the fact that it was metal and not plastic, and the fact that it was an attachment to the KitchenAid was nice because in my mind it took up less space in the kitchen. I will say this though, it is a lot of extra strain on the KitchenAid. Like if she uses her KitchenAid to, we'll say, make the bread and knead the dough, it is a lot. So everyone's different. If she's kneading it by hands, then it's perfect. And there's different types of grain mills out there. Mine was, I would say, in the middle. There's cheaper ones, but there's certainly more pricier ones out there as well. So do your research, but I use my grain mill all the time now that I'm getting into making more breads and foods from scratch. So next up on the list is to get her a new KitchenAid bowl. And this is great for those crunchy homemakers who also like to have a kind of decorative kitchen. Mine was given to me as a wedding gift from my aunt and I love it, and it definitely makes my that area of my kitchen a little brighter and just, you know, that feminine touch to it. They have many different ones out there. I've seen copper bowls. I've seen ones that are similar to mine, but it's like a navy blue. Either way, there's so many pretty KitchenAid bowls that you can get that I'm sure she will love to swap out that traditional metal bowl. So this next one is for the homemakers that like to sit outside, especially, you know, during the summertime, and have that area of comfort, and it's a hummingbird feeder. And I have one of these and it's so great to put out during the summertime and sit out on the porch while drinking like a glass of wine or early in the morning with a coffee or whatever and just watch the hummingbirds go to the feeder. And there are different types of feeders or bird feeders that you can get. Like I also have an Oriole one, but there is something to be said about a hummingbird feeder and just watching them all together. And sometimes they're fighting with one another, and as bad as it sounds, it's kind of intriguing. It's like, I don't know, entertaining to watch them. So if you have a female in your life that likes to be outside, or you're putting this together for yourself, then I highly recommend having a hummingbird feeder. Okay, so next up on the list is new towels or face cloths for like kitchen work. And I'm not talking about the nice pretty ones. I'm talking about the workhorse kitchen towels. And so recently, like, you know, I've had this towel for quite some time, And I'm like, oh yeah, like, you know, they're fine. Like nothing's wrong with them. But over time, some of them got really bad. So I was like, okay, like I'll get, you know, another set. And I realized just the color contrast. I'm like, wow, it's time to replace these. So even if you think that you have towels or the female that you know has towels, believe me when I tell you, fresh towels are always a nice thing to receive as a gift. Okay, so this next one is for the homemakers that are showing an interest in making more products from dairy. And for me personally, like I'm getting into buying raw milk and I want to be making cheese with that. So I bought myself a cheese press. I haven't used it yet, but I'm hoping to use it over the next couple weeks or what have you. But again, if this is you or the female that you know that you're buying for that is trying to get into making more things with dairy or with raw milk, then you could definitely get a cheese press. These range in price. Mine was probably a little bit more on the expensive side, but you can certainly get cheaper ones as well. Building off from the cheese press, the sixth Christmas gift idea is using a cheesecloth. And I know this might not seem like a good Christmas gift idea, but believe me, I use these all the time. And they come in handy like when making juices or trying to strain broths, things like that. And they get kind of gross quickly, so getting new ones is definitely a plus. And I know by itself it might not be too exciting, but you can always put like things in it like candies and wrap it up and make it look kind of festive with like some greenery. Either way, I'm telling you, receiving this would be a good thing to have as a crunchy homemaker. Okay, so next up on the list is for those homemakers that get into preserving food, and especially if she already has a water bath, would be to have a pressure canner. I really like this one because it is large and I can fit a lot in it. I know there's many out there. I'll definitely put a link to most, if not all of these things that I'm talking about today in the description below. But a pressure canner is so nice because then you can all sorts of foods, not just the ones that you would need a water bath for. And building off of that, the eighth thing on the list is actually canning jars. If yourself or the homemaker that you're buying for already has a pressure canner and gets into canning, I'm telling you, having jars is such a nice thing to have on hand. You can never have too many of them. So if that's the type of homemaker that you're buying for, that you can get her some canning jars or lids and bands, and she would be so happy. So the ninth Christmas gift idea that you can get your crunchy homemaker is some beeswax wrap. And I have a full guide on how to make some from scratch, and it was part of the video that I put together that I talked about earlier in this video. But it's super easy to make, and you can also buy them as well. And they're great for the females out there that try to stay away from plastics or they're more eco-friendly conscious. I have these as a staple in my kitchen and I use them all the time. And in fact, my mother told me today that she wants me to make some for someone that she knows. So I'm like, okay, I can make some of those for their Christmas gift this year. So I'm telling you, like Beeswax Wrap, they're definitely a home run Christmas gift idea. Okay, so this next one might seem like it's similar to the other Christmas gift ideas for her. Inspiration, because it is, but it does take a little bit of a twist, and that is to get merino wool clothing or socks. And I have some. The popular brand out there is called Smart Wool, and what's nice about these clothing items is that it is 100% merino wool. So if you have that crunchy homemaker that's trying to stay away from polyester and other similar type of cloths and linens that are toxic, then this is a great clothing item that you can get her. And who can say no to socks? I mean, isn't that on everyone's Christmas gift list? I'm just saying. But again, merino wool, it's And plus it, you know, just the wool itself, like it keeps you warm. And the brand Smart Wool has less scratchy. It depends on what you get, but like the quality of the wool is less scratchy than like other types of wools out there. Okay, so number 11 is to get large sheet pans. And I feel like I don't really need to explain this one. Every homemaker needs to have large sheet pans, especially for those days or events where she's cooking in large quantities. Having a large sheet pan is really nice to have. And I would even go as far as to say try to get ones that are stainless steel, because those ones definitely will hold up over time compared to ones that are non-stick. And not only that, but the stainless steel has better quality materials in it than the different non-stick ones out there. Okay, so for number 12, if she's Christian, then I would say getting her a Bible would be great. If she's Catholic, I highly recommend this Blessed Is She Bible. I just got it for myself, and it is definitely geared towards women, and it's nice and lovely. Like, I just bought one for my mother-in-law, and she seemed to really like it. So definitely a Bible if, you know, your wife or sister, whoever is Christian. And again, highly recommends the Blessed Is She version if she is Catholic. Okay, so number 13 on the list is Mead accessories. And to explain what Mead is like a honey wine. So if yourself or like the female that you're buying for wants to get into making wine, Mead would be a great way for her to get into that, because all the materials that she would need for mead are the same as wine. The difference is wine might be a little bit easier for her to get into, because I feel like honey is more readily available to buy than like a mass ton of grapes that either you just buy straight out grapes, like the particular kind for that wine, or like having it mashed, like whatever. So some of the things that you would need for wine or mead making is like this, which is used to put the corks in the bottles, or like a siphon, which takes the liquid out of one vessel to another. I've been getting into this for the past, I want to say like year and a half now, and I've made a couple different flavored meads. Like peach mead was the last one that I made. I'm making a second batch this weekend of a winter spiced mead, which has cranberries and like the traditional like seasonal spices. And I have to say it's great, and we share it with people and it goes quickly. So again, if whoever you're buying for or you're making a list for yourself, you've had interest in making wine or mead, then those types of things would be great. And it just might be the gift that keeps on giving, because you can always make mead and then hand it out for Christmas the following year. Just a thought. Okay, so next up on the list is Pyrex Dishes. And I'm saying this as someone who will make a ton of food and freeze it for later use. And I talk about this in one of the last videos that I did on tips when you don't feel like cooking. But Pyrex dishes are great because, like I said, you can make a ton of food, and if you have the Pyrex dishes, you can put the food in it, like lasagna or like really like most dishes, and then they are freezer safe. And then when you don't feel like cooking, you can just pop it in the oven and you have it. And it's a lot better than the aluminum foil tins that you can get at the store. And I mentioned why I don't like those in that article that I talked about. But yes, Pyrex dishes, they're a good one. Okay, so number 15 on the list, wow, we're, making our way, is Enamelware. And my mother got all of my Enamelware for different gifts in the past, and these are great because they are rugged and can take heat. I wouldn't cook on them per se, but if you need to like warm something up in the oven, then you can definitely do that. And not only that, but they look nice too. So I mostly use mine when I am butchering like a chicken. It's easier to just like separate them out, and they have the nice walls to contain it, all the meat and bones and stuff inside. Or like when my husband's grilling, they're great for that. But yes, Enamelware would be like a nice little, you know, something special that she can add to her repertoire of kitchen essentials. Okay, so next up on the list is a pizza stone, and as you can see, mine is quite loved. A pizza stone definitely ups the pizza game. So if your crunchy homemaker makes a lot of pizzas, then definitely getting a pizza stone will help really get that nice pizza crunch to it. They have bigger ones as well, which I'm kind of hoping that I get this year, that you can fit more than one pizza on. But either way, like a pizza stone is definitely a must-have in a crunchy homemaker's kitchen. Okay, so next up is wicker baskets. And who can say no to this? Like, isn't this just so beautiful? My brother actually got this for me, and it's great among one of the many baskets that I own, and it helps me organize different things around the house. And let's be real here, every household, I don't care how minimalist you are, it's filled with stuff. And what better way to organize it than to have wicker baskets? So if you're looking for something more practical for your crunchy homemaker, then wicker baskets are definitely a must and a game changer when it comes to organizing all the stuff you have in your home. Okay, so number 18 is these Emile Bakeware dishes. And I have to say, I love these dishes. I talk about if they're worth the price in the article that I have below. But if your crunchy homemaker likes to cook and would love the benefits of having something that is non-stick without the added toxins, then these are a great swap. And let me just say, they look beautiful. Like, I love serving food in these when I have company down, and they're like amazing to like cook in and stuff. So you could definitely get Emile Bakeware pans for her or have them on your list. Okay, so number 19 is a chunky knitted blanket. And I bought this for myself last year, and honestly, I'm thinking about getting another one because I like it so much. But it's a game changer. One, because it's so heavy, so it's nice to have at the foot of the bed, where it's like that extra weight is wanted. But two, it just looks so nice. Like, who can say no to a chunky knit blanket? Like, it just fills that void that was there, and it's nice to wrap around in, and it's so great. So if you know how to knit, I'm telling you, like, receiving this would be greatly appreciated, like if I was your crunchy homemaker. But if you're looking to just buy something for her, then you could definitely just buy a chunky knit blanket or put it on your list, either way. And it really does make a difference just in general, just feeling that comfort. Like, everyone likes to be cozy, right? So definitely a winner in my book. Okay, so number 20, almost at the finish line, is a apple peeler. And this is especially great, like, if the homemaker makes a lot with apples, like during the fall time. And I know I do because I live in Massachusetts, so during the fall we always go apple picking, and we get like the big, I think it's like a bushel of apples, and I make different things with them. And the first year that I did it, I did not have an apple peeler, and it was miserable peeling all the apples. So if your homemaker is in a similar situation to mine where she would peel a ton of apples, especially during the fall, then get an apple peeler for her. She will thank you because it makes such a difference. I don't think I need to say anymore. Like, it's just one of those kitchen tools, and I'm not one for knickknacks, but it is one that makes a big difference when it comes to, like, if you're doing a ton of quantity. Okay, so next up on the list is a mill for things like tomatoes, and there's like other things that you can, you know, make with it. This is the one that I have. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not in love with it. I'll still put a link below, but I kind of suspected that it would do a better job at separating the paste part from the seeds, and I don't know, I was a little disappointed. But there's other ones out there that you can put like an attachment to, like on the KitchenAid and, you know, stuff like that. So those types of ones where it's like that fine mesh, I think if I were to buy another one, I would do that. But again, like this is perfect for the homemaker that processes a lot of food from like her garden and makes different things like sauce. It's definitely a game changer, separating all that out, and it makes it so the boil time or simmer time is less for things like sauces or like if she's making tomato paste or what have you. Okay, so number 22 is rain boots. And if your homemaker spends a lot of time outside, especially if it's like rainy out because she's doing different tasks, whether tending to the garden or if there's like chickens or whatever, then these would be great. I highly recommend these ones. One, because they look great, even as gross as they are right now, because they are definitely used. But they're also super comfortable. My mother got me these a couple years ago, and I'm so glad that she did because I love them. So if you have, again, a homemaker for yourself, you're spending time outside, then I definitely recommend you getting her a nice pair of rain boots or duck boots, whatever you call them. Okay, so now we are at a pasta roller. And I got this as an attachment for the KitchenAid. It's great. I've used it a couple times now. I'm still learning how to make pasta. It's definitely an art, I will say that. But I got this one because it has like the ravioli part of it, and it makes like the flat sheets, and then it also cuts the pasta. Again, this is for those homemakers, similar to the first one that I talked about, the grain mill, that are trying to make more things from scratch so they have control over the ingredients, or would like to have that wheat, or even if they use just regular flour. Who can say no to pasta? Fresh pasta at that. So yes, pasta attachment definitely is a good idea that you can get your crunchy homemaker. Okay, so the second to last Christmas gift idea is to get her a garden bed. And this is great for the homemakers that either are getting into gardening or already have an established garden. I mean, who can say no to another raised garden bed? And I got mine on Amazon. It was relatively affordable, especially when you factor in if you were to build it from scratch from like pressure treated wood and stuff, like all that is definitely expensive. So the metal one for me was definitely the way to go, and it was super easy to assemble as well. So if she gets into gardening, definitely get her, or add to your list, a garden bed. Okay, we are at the end. So the last Christmas gift idea to get your crunchy homemaker is a Panini Press. And I'm not one for like gadgets that are only good for one use. Like I know I have a couple, but it has to be worth it. And this Panini Press is a game changer when it comes to making sandwiches. And a little backstory, my husband loves sandwiches, and my first real job was working at a deli where I made sandwiches, so it was just kind of funny. It's like, here sandwiches are his life, and I made sandwiches for a living. But I'm telling you, having a nice panini press just makes the sandwich like so much better. So if your crunchy homemaker also enjoys sandwiches or making them, then definitely get her a panini press. So that is all I have for you. And so the moment that you're waiting for, probably the freebie that I talked about earlier in the video. So I have the link below in the description. And what it is, it's a digital download, and it's a template of gift ideas for people. And what you can do if you're trying to think of gift ideas for other people, you can download this, keep it in whatever annotation notes app that you have, or you can print it and you can simply write in and keep track of the different gift ideas that you have for the individuals in your life. And so like I do this whenever I think of something or someone says that like, oh, like I really want this gift or whatever, then I will just make a note of it. So when the time comes and I need to get them a gift, I'm not scratching my head like, oh, what do I get them? I have a list that I can refer back to and be like, oh, like they said that they really wanted this. Okay, that's perfect. I will get them that. So hopefully you like it. Let me know in the description if you do. And also, because this is my now second Christmas gift idea type list, both of them are, well, the first one's not geared towards women, but the first one's geared towards crafts. This one's geared towards women. If you enjoyed this, do you want me to put together one that is geared towards men? I mainly grew up with 3 brothers. I have 5 brothers. The other 2 are older and were already like out of the house. So I know a thing or two about what men like. So if you want me to put together a list for the guys, let me know and I can definitely do that. But that is all we have today. I hope you enjoyed. Again, hit that subscribe button and I will see you next time. Bye.